All right. Thanks to everybody who answered that first question. I'm going to be asking a few questions throughout this webinar. I just wanted to start it off there. And I'm also right now going to put our FitWays links here in the chat. Oops. So I'll put that there in the chat. Oh, that's the registration link, but I'll make sure you guys have that. First of all, I just want to say hello and welcome. I am David Fryer here in Houston. I'm the Fitness Center Program Manager here in Houston. And as you can see, it's July 1st. We made it. We made it halfway through 2020, everybody. And we got 4th of July coming up this weekend. So some exciting stuff. And before getting started, I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that Maintain Don't Gain program. If you register for it, you're going to gain exclusive access to a couple of things. First off, our webinar, 3 webinars. So it's going to be a series. We're going to go even more in depth on the nutritional topics with our registered dietitian. We have some fitness and exercise stuff going on, how to work out correctly, and then kind of tying it all together, a mindfulness and life balance webinar that's going to be really great too. So 3 awesome topics, and there's going to be an accountability calendar throughout that 21 days to keep you on track with everything, and there's going to be some cool prizes along the way. So please check it out. And the final thing I want to point out before really getting into the good stuff here is that the material on this webinar is educational, and it's not supposed to be, medical, financial advice, anything like that. So just a little note there. All right, now onto the good stuff. So I thought it would be a good way to start just to tell you guys why I'm passionate about quick meals and how it affects my life. So the first thing is I get time and money back. That's huge. I don't know anybody who doesn't want more time with their loved ones or friends and who doesn't want more money in their pocket. So that's a big one for me. The second one is I just look and feel better when I'm implementing the practices that we're talking about today. That's huge. And then last, I kind of gain balance when I do this. So for me, I always implement these things, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And I just don't feel guilty when I go off the plan, on the weekends when I go out to restaurants and maybe spend a little bit more money or eat some higher calorie foods. I know that I was doing this stuff during the week, so I really get a sense of balance when I'm doing this. Okay, so let's get into it. First off here, I'm gonna test your knowledge. So you can put your answer in the chat box. What percentage of food budgets in the US are spent on foods eaten away from home? Tell me what you got. Go ahead and throw A, B, C, or D in the chat box. Got 22, 36, 43, and 54. Oh, nice. I like the participation. Seeing all kinds of stuff. Okay, 3, 2, 1, last call. All right, let's see what we got. There we go. Okay, so 54.4%. Wow. That's kind of crazy, right? To think about that. Over half of people's budget is away from the home. So I know that recent world events like the pandemic might have changed this. So maybe take a second to reflect on that. Has this percentage changed at all for you? Or has your budget gone up or down? I think for me, both of those have changed a little bit. And then as far as examples of, places you can eat away from home, obviously restaurants, cafeterias, fast food, stuff like that. But here's the problem with that. Those foods tend to be higher in calories and then lower in fiber. So you tend to overeat and not feel as full or satiated throughout the day. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation there. But listen, we get it. I mean, cooking takes time, and time is money. But we want to say goodbye to that stress. So meals at home can be quick, easy, tasty, nutritious, and save you money. So I'm going to share some essential steps that help you save time and money. Let's get into step one. So we have to plan, and that means choosing your recipes. Let's get to this first one. Creating a list of favorites. So what meals do you enjoy? What meals or types of food do the people that you're dining with enjoy? That's number one. Brainstorm new types of meals you would like to try. So this can be fun. You really don't know what you like or dislike until you try it out. Third, check out cookbooks, social media sites, recipes from friends and family, or healthy cooking magazines. So there's lots of options here. I know Instagram, you can see some photos of some great food. I like Pinterest a lot. You can pin different recipes that you might like. And another one in my household that we use is the Tasty app, Tasty. And it's basically a time-lapse video of prepping different types of food. So you can see a 30 to maybe 2-minute video time lapse of people prepping their dishes, and then it always looks great at the end. And there's some not so healthy choices, but there's lots of healthy stuff too. All right, on to step two. We got to shop and go get those groceries. So first one here, create a grocery list. And the big thing is basing it on whatever your meal plan is. Second, note food and ingredients that you have on hand, especially anything that you need to use up around your house. Note those quantities needed. This way you don't run out of something or you don't have more than necessary. And with that, you could be wasting time or money. Have a healthy snack before you go. I think everybody's been there, right? You go to the store and you're hungry or hangry, and you might buy things that you wouldn't necessarily buy if you weren't hungry at that time. And then once you eat, when you get back home, you're like, why do I have all this stuff, right? So a big thing is not going to the store hungry, so you are kind of avoiding those impulse buys. Stick to your list as much as possible. And I think most of the time you should try to stick to that list, but allowing some flexibility is also a good thing. So it's a good rule, but if there's something on sale or something, like that, then flexibility is good. And the last thing I want to tag this with, speaking of flexibility, I think of balance. Once again, it's key for all this stuff. Things like portion control. Knowing those quantities, I think of portion control. So it's not on the diet or off the diet. People think of maybe pizza as a quote unquote bad food, but what people don't understand is you can have a slice or two and maybe a salad, and that's a meal that works within your plan. Where people go wrong is where you eat the entire pizza, right? You can't have the whole pie and stay on track there. So just know the difference and know that you need to have some semblance of balance. On to step three, cook, prepare, and enjoy. I like that last word. I like the eating part. Okay, pre-wash and pre-chop fruits and vegetables. This one just saves you some time later on. Make extra and store in individual portions for grab and go. Here you can think leftovers. You'll have future meals ready to roll. And then freeze meals that can be thawed and heated later. You can try this freezer cooking approach here. Again, quick meal, ready for later on. And when I was going through this material, one thing that I thought about when I was talking to my boss was barriers to cooking. That preparation. What are the barriers to you cooking and implementing some of this stuff? For her, it was a dirty kitchen. So maybe there's stuff on the table, or maybe there's some stuff on the counter, and without even thinking about it, that's a barrier to wanting to prep your food. So maybe just a quick clean in your kitchen. Doesn't have to be a deep scrub. That might be something that helps you out. And then one for me personally is just straight up boredom. I usually enjoy food prep, but it can be boring if it's the end of the day or whatever. So things that I do, I throw on some music. Sometimes I'll throw on a podcast, and you can learn stuff. You're killing two birds with one stone. And then the third one is movement. So maybe I'm prepping something and then I'm just moving around a little bit more. Maybe I do a few squats or like a stretch or something. Just I always feel better when I get some sort of movement in. All right, next, crunch for time. Let's try a simple meal. So you can check out these quick meal options. There's 5 here: chicken salad, spaghetti, tacos, individual pizzas, and breakfast sandwiches. Now, I'm not gonna go through all of these, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit. And I do have a chat box question for you. Please share your favorite quick meals. So if you have like a go-to meal that you eat a lot, go ahead and share it in that chat box. I think it would give a lot of people some ideas and some inspiration for things to try out. So yeah, lentils, that's great. Yeah, any type of legume or bean is good. High fiber, micronutrients. Taco salad's good. Keep that stuff coming in the chat box. I love it. Avocado toast. Oh man, you guys are making me hungry. Okay, so keep those coming. Give other people some ideas, and we'll talk about the similarities that these 5 have. So when I looked at these, all of them have a fruit or a vegetable. Okay, all of them have those micronutrients where you're getting some vitamins and minerals. Another thing that I saw was they all have whole grains or another complex carb such as beans or something like that. So again, you have that fiber. It's going to keep you satiated throughout the day. And then another one, they include all 3 macronutrients. So with all these, you're getting some protein, getting some carbohydrates, and you're getting some fat. And all of those have a purpose in your body. So, and then this is an important one, very important one. They're all fairly low in overall calories. And most importantly for me, they're cheap, they're quick, they're easy, and they're healthy. So thanks for, I'm gonna check out this chat box, see what we got going on here. I know for me personally, the tacos is one of my favorites. Oh man, so much good stuff. Thanks everybody. Okay, so keep these similarities in mind when you're planning out those meals. Go into that next slide, one moment. There we go. Okay, so now through the 3 steps and some meal ideas, let's introduce some extra tips here. First one, save on that grocery budget by planning meals around ingredients you have on hand. So stuff you have already. And then also check out store flyers or ads for different sale items. Plan for grab and go options to create quick meals on the run. Some examples that come to mind for me, like sandwiches, fresh fruit, pre-cut veggies, string cheese, hard-boiled eggs, whatever, stuff like that. And all of those can be packed in just seconds and you got a meal ready. Use a slow cooker. This is another one we use in my household quite a bit. Only a few ingredients needed and you got a home cooked meal ready for you. And so if you leave in the morning, you come back, you have dinner already ready, you don't have to do anything. Or, these days, if you're at home all day, you might have some pleasant aromas throughout the day. Choose simple recipes with no more than 6 ingredients. Again, this makes cooking way easier, and then it prevents that waste of food and money. Win-win. Plan for leftovers. So this one's simple. Cook it once, enjoy it twice. Sounds good to me. Last one, you can outsource it. So these meal delivery services are getting more and more popular, and a lot of them can provide, healthy and cost-effective choices, especially when you compare it to going out to a restaurant, dining out, stuff like that. All right, and then, we have some more tips and tricks here. For more information, you can visit this link. Really great site, and they offer more tips and then even sample meal plans there. So please check that out. And I want to know what you guys are going to do next. So maybe just an action item going forward for you. You can see some, I'll go through these 5 here. If you want to write in the chat what your next move is going to be, we have some ideas. Cook one more meal at home this week, create a list of family favorites, try a new recipe, prep fruits and veggies, or something else. So go ahead and share what you got. I know for me, writing down my plans or my goals somewhere that I see them each and every day is super powerful. So maybe that's just the bathroom mirror or something like that, where you're holding yourself accountable each and every day and reminding yourself what you want to accomplish. So choose that next step and feel free to share those in the chat box. I'm going to see what we have going in here. I'm interested. Oh, good. Yeah, trying some new recipes. Nice. All of the above. Cool. Veggies. All great ones. All great places to start, y'all. And we're going to go ahead to this next one. All right. Thanks, everybody, for attending today. Now, we're going to have some time for a Q&A here. But again, just one more time, please remember to join our Maintain Don't Gain program for more guidance and a community of people that have similar goals and aspirations. Again, lots of good content, and it's going to give you a chance to win some prizes. I'm going to stay on. If you guys have any questions for myself, then please let me know. You can throw those in the chat box or unmute. And yes, I will send you those links for sure. I had the wrong link ready to roll. So don't worry, everybody's gonna get some information about those programs coming on in July. But if there's anything else regarding quick meals, nutrition.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
This is Jessica. While you're getting that link, there was a question in the Q&A about prepping and how to save that fruit or vegetable so it doesn't go bad. So after you slice or dice your fresh fruit or vegetables, you're going to want to store them into like an airtight container, whether that's like just a regular container, whether that's a Ziploc type bag. They do make reusable, they're like a silicone based little Ziploc bag kind of thing now. So you can use those. The whole point is that you want it to be airtight. Depending on the fruit or vegetables, you may do well with putting a like a very, very damp paper towel at the bottom of the container for high water content fruits or vegetables so they don't go bad as quick. But regardless, you're going to want to use up that cut fruit or vegetable within about 3, maybe 4 days from chopping. That's how long as it's going to last. So when you're meal planning and you're planning out your week, that's one thing you're going to want to keep in mind. Like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and chop up these onions, and I know I'm going to use them some tonight. I'm going to use some the next day and the following day after that. So you'll have to kind of make sure you kind of keep that in y'all's plan. But good question. Oh, also, you're going to make sure you're going to want to wash them, your fruit or vegetable, before you prep. So just heads up.
Good stuff. I didn't know that. So that's really cool. It always helps having Jessica on the line with some of that stuff. Anything else?
The links aren't showing up, David.
Yeah, I'm grabbing them right now.
Oh, okay.
Cool, I just realized that. Yeah.
Oh, so let me see which one. We have Vanessa put in a link for reusable baggies. I think they're really fantastic. The whole point is you just want to keep it airtight.
So that first one that I just put in there, that's if you're an HP employee, you can use that to register. I'm getting another one real quick. Sorry on the.
You're okay. So Jason has on here that he's obsessive about freshness, as we all should be. But don't forget that you can also cook. So let's say you're making a plate of roasted vegetables to go on with your dish. Go ahead and cook a little bit extra, and you can then use those roasted vegetables in other dishes as well. Inside of soups, inside of your lentil soups, inside of your slow cooker soups, or you can just have them as a snack because you can eat roasted vegetables cold. So you can always make just a little bit more, especially when it comes to vegetables, and it'll last you as well. Again, technically, food safety wise, you can go about 5 days, but that freshness starts to really kind of wane after that third day. So that's why I usually say 3 days. And David, it looks like, oh, you just fixed it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, just fixed that. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that.
Any other questions, y'all? So in a crock pot, oh my gosh, there's so much you can do in a crock pot. In pressure cookers, Instant Pots, you could do, of course, there's the soups, but you can do things like chickens. You could do roasts. You can do different types of pork loins, tenderloins, etc. Remember, anything, any kind of animal protein that has the word round or loin in it, those are going to be your leaner meats, meaning less of that saturated fats, which is those artery clogging ones. But definitely crock pot, or a lot more than just soups. Also with your soups and with your, if you're going to, let's say, cook a chicken, bake a chicken in essence in the crock pot, you can use the remaining pieces, the carcass of that chicken, for example, to make a broth, whether it's a chicken broth or a bone broth type thing. I'm trying to think. You have to let me know, Shannon, what kind of stuff you like. You can make, I think you're the Shannon who also makes the open face enchiladas. You can make your meat in that. And what it does is just allows you to kind of almost set it and forget it and kind of move on with your day. You could, depending on if you have a pressure cooking setting on your crock pot or on your slow cooker, you can cook your vegetables in them. It takes a lot shorter time. Corn, potatoes, a lot of those dense root vegetables, turnips, etc. You can cook in these crock pot type things. That would be a really great one. You know, David talked about researching recipes, and I have your name written down because now as I come across them, I'm going to have to make sure I share them with you, Shannon, and with everybody else. I'll put them up on the Yammer site. This would be a good one to Google because there is a lot of different recipes out there for crock pots in particular.
All right, and suggestions for quick snacks for mid-afternoon.
Ooh, and you're craving something yummy. So that's a really great one. So snacks, we have to be mindful. Snacks serve us a purpose. It's kind of our body telling us, you know, hey, we need that nutrients. We need some energy to keep on moving on with our day. Our brain needs energy, right? We need them in that form of calories. So some really fun snacks is really just whatever's going to satisfy that yummy sweet tooth kind of craving. What I will tell you, the building blocks of any good sustaining snack will include protein plus a carbohydrate with a bonus points for a nice healthy fat. So let's say you want something yummy. When I think of yummy, I think of sweets and chocolate, okay? So maybe that is some plain low fat or non-fat yogurt with either a teaspoon of chocolate syrup in it, mixed in it, or some chocolate pieces in it with some strawberries. That yogurt is going to serve as a really fantastic, especially if it's a Greek yogurt, it's going to serve as a fantastic protein source. And then the strawberries, along with a little bit of that chocolate, is going to give me some of those, that carbohydrates, that like little bit of a pickup energy. The strawberries are going to give me a lot of fantastic hydration plus fiber. What helps us feel full is healthy fats, fiber, and protein. What's going to help us give us a little bit of a quick burst of energy is some nice, yummy carbohydrates. You have to let me know, Catherine, if I answered your question.
Yeah, and I agree with everything that Jessica just said. And my first thought when you hear craving something yummy, I think that too. I think sweet. So my brain went to like a dark chocolate covered almond or something like that, where it kind of has, you have those healthy fats, you got a little bit of dark chocolate in there, you got some protein. You want some extra protein, you can drink some milk or something like that. But yeah, my mind goes to the same type of place. Awesome. Anything else?
If you hold on, Catherine, I'm going to post in the chat box really quick a link to a really great handout on snack ideas that show that concept of pairing that protein with that carbohydrate with a little bit of a healthy fat. So just give me 1 second and let me pull that up. And I'm going to put, like I said, put that link in the chat box right now.
Hey, David. Hi, Jessica. We had some questions about container recommendations. I'm particularly fond of the thick glass that has a snap lid where it snaps along the 4 edges. What do you think?
It always comes back down to the seal. What does that seal look like? Is it a good seal? Is there opportunities for air to come in and out? Air inside of a refrigerator sometimes is where we'll get that spoilage happens. It starts allowing moisture into there. That starts to create environments for bacterial growth, degradation of that food, etc. So as long as whether it snaps on 2 sides, 4 sides, you want it to snap and you want it to be a seal, all corners, all sides. Additional container recommendations, depending on what you want, something else you could do is, of course, you want it to be food safety classified. And if it's being sold as a kitchen item, it's 99% going to be food safe. You can always turn it over and look for a little symbol. It has a U and an L in the middle of a circle, or it says NSF inside of a circle. But the other thing you may want to consider when you're choosing containers or those reusable like silicone type bags is you want to look for and make sure to see if it's dishwasher safe, because, you know, we got to clean the things at some point, right? And also we want to make sure that if it's microwavable safe. Not all containers would be safe for the microwave. So that's something that if you know you're going to pop it in the microwave to warm it up really quick, you're going to want to keep make sure that it says that it is microwavable safe. But again, it always comes back down to that seal. And I'm going to go grab actually some of my containers really quick, and I'm going to come right back. So I'll be right back if I can show y'all.
Okay, good. I'm glad she's going a little in depth on that stuff. To be quite honest, for me, I just kind of have some Tupperware that we use, and so I'm learning stuff as far as the storage. I really like the glass with the seal too. We only have a few of those. Most of them are just plastic, but they work. I like hearing kind of the nuance behind this stuff when we have our dietitian on board though. So while she's grabbing those, if you can think of anything else. All right. Yeah, we see you. Okay. So this is the silicone bag that I use. And if anybody else uses something different, please let me know, because even I'm in the market for looking for different types of containers. Especially right now, I had gotten a bunch of these because for lunches for the kids and for myself, etc.
they're kind of that silicone. They seal real nicely. So I will put chopped vegetables, etc. in here. I guess my one kind of downfall is it's not the easiest thing to clean. So, but another container that I use a lot, it is dishwasher safe, it is microwavable safe, is, oh, I'm gonna drop it. It's actually a pre-portioned one. And I got like a billion of these off of Amazon, relatively inexpensive. But it does a good job. Again, like I said, it is microwavable safe, and you know that for me is an important criteria. But it pre-portions everything out. So when we're setting up, I know we're all eating at home, and sometimes we still want something quick because we got to go from one meeting to another. Having leftovers, let's say you made a beautiful soup, let's say you made a beautiful stew, a beautiful chicken breast with some couscous and roasted green beans and roasted carrots. That night, like, you know, after you've had it and you're about to start cleaning up the kitchen, go ahead and put them into these types of containers. This big area is where your veggies should go. This is where the roasted carrots and green beans go. This is where a little bit of that leftover chicken goes. This is where a little bit of that couscous goes. You go ahead, like David said, make it once, have it twice, right? And then you go ahead and stick it in the lid. Go ahead and put it into your refrigerator. The next day, you're like, oh my gosh, I got one meeting to another. Well, these meetings never stop. You can still pop this, pull it right out of your refrigerator and pop it in your microwave, and you're good to go.
Voila.
Questions?
Great stuff there. Some really good insight. All right, last call for some questions. And as always, if you think of something after the fact, you can email me, david.fryer@hp or jessica.green@hp. But last call for questions. All right, I think that's everything. Thanks so much once again for joining everybody. We always appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day. Have a great July 4th weekend, and we'll send more information on that Fitway stuff coming up. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, David.